It was a month ago. I was 22, living alone in a new apartment and desperately needed a couch. I was scrolling through Craigslist when I found one that seemed too good to be true. The pictures showed a sleek, comfortable sofa, no stains, no rips, just pristine. The price was unbelievable, way below what I'd been seeing elsewhere. I clicked on the listing, and the seller had one peculiar request: contact him through email. The address made me pause. MexicanPoppy666@hotmail.com. It felt off, but I needed a couch, and the deal was too tempting, so I ignored the creeping unease and sent an offer. Within minutes, he replied. The deal was on. He wanted my address, but something didn't sit right. A stranger showing up at my door. I wasn't comfortable with that, so I suggested I just come pick it up instead. He insisted. I stopped responding, hoping he'd just let it go. But the next day, I got another email. His address. The same gut feeling told me not to go, but something about the deal haunted me. Maybe it was the desperation for furniture, or maybe I'd convinced myself I was being paranoid, but I drove over to his place. His house was tucked away, smaller than all the others on the block, a little too quiet. When I rang the bell, a middle-aged man opened the door. He had a weird, unnerving smile that I couldn't shake. He was wearing a baseball cap, and he invited me inside without hesitation. There it was, the couch. But it was nothing like the photos. Scuff marks, torn fabric. It looked old, used. I commented on it, but he just smiled wider and offered to lower the price. I'm not interested, I said, and started to leave. That's when things took a strange turn. As I reached the door, his hand rested on my shoulder. I'll give it to you for free, he said. If you're willing to, give something to me. I pulled away, disgusted, and rushed out, barely holding it together. I didn't even dare to look out the window as I sped away. That night, lying in bed, trying to shake off the creepiness of the encounter, I heard it, footsteps on my porch. The sound of someone fiddling with the doorknob. My heart dropped. I froze. I crept to the peephole, but no one was there. I stood there in the silence, trying to steady my breath. That's when I heard it, the gate to my backyard creaking open and closing. I grabbed my phone, hands trembling, and dialed 911. The back door, someone was trying it now. I yelled at whoever was out there. I'm calling the cops. The sound stopped. The gate opened and closed again, and they were gone. I haven't felt safe since. It's been a month and I still don't sleep well. I'm certain it was the man from Craigslist. There's no way he just coincidentally showed up at my apartment. I'm done with Craigslist, and I'm still looking for a new place to live. The car that wasn't. It was supposed to be a birthday gift for my son, a used car for his 18th. I checked the usual websites, but the prices were all ridiculous. Then on Craigslist, I found a steal. A 2003 Toyota Camry, just 67,000 miles, perfect condition, for $3,500. The seller, Bob, lived about 10 miles from me. I called him, and he assured me the car was in great shape, no issues. I brought the cash, $3,500 in hand, hoping for a deal. I arrived early, drove down a dirt road to a small house. The garage door was open, but there was no car in sight, just car parts. Too many, actually. I walked up to the door, knocked for a while, no answer. I called Bob and heard a cell phone ringing inside the house. I tried peeking through the window. It was dim inside, but I made out a dining room set. And standing at the back door was a figure. I knocked on the window. No movement. Confused, I walked around to the back. I still couldn't understand how Bob couldn't hear me, but there was no one around, just the eerie silence of the wide-open yard. I peered through the back door, and my heart stopped. It wasn't Bob. It was a taxidermied human, still standing, frozen at the back door, staring out. I ran, fast. My legs barely moved as I sprinted back to my car. I glanced over my shoulder one last time and saw the blinds snap shut, two of them bent open. Somebody had been watching me. My pulse is still racing just thinking about it. The taxidermy, the absence of the car, the sick feeling that I almost became part of that collection. The phone that wanted more. It was a simple plan, I needed an iPhone 5, saw one on Craigslist for $200. The seller was upgrading to the 5C. It seemed like a great deal. My little brother came along to make sure the phone was legit. We met the seller and his friend in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot around 10 p.m. Two men climbed out of a black Honda Civic. One of them handed me the phone, and my brother popped my SIM card in to test it. Everything worked fine, but then the price changed. "It's $250 now," the seller said, though he'd originally agreed to $200. I wasn't having it, so I handed him $200. He wasn't thrilled, but he took it. We got back into our car, but when I glanced in the rearview mirror, I noticed the black Honda had pulled up directly behind us. They hadn't left. They were following us. Every turn we made, they were there, too close. My brother urged me to pull over, but I refused. I knew something was wrong. I tried to lose them. At a red light, I floored it. My brother yelled at me, but I didn't care. They didn't follow. We got home, heart pounding. I thought we were in the clear, but later, as I was setting up the phone, I heard two car doors slam outside. I peeked out. There they were, the black Honda Civic, parked across the street. I woke my dad and he grabbed a bat, crouching behind the door. Then came the knock. "We've got a gun," one of them shouted. "We'll shoot the lock off if you don't open." I called our friend Joe, a cop. He said he'd be right over. And then came the sound of a silenced gunshot, just inches from my dad's head. The door splintered, a bullet hole right by his face. Joe showed up, and the two men were arrested. The scariest night of my life? Yeah. But also the best. Because I'm still here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Your support means the world to me. Thanks for being here, and we'll catch you in the next video.